Hey everybody, this is Networkchain. Hope you are doing well. Let's go ahead and get started with the cryptocurrency market update. As usual, you can see Bitcoin is currently trading above $80,000 at time of recording. We see it currently trading about 3.24% higher over the past week. We have Ethereum currently trading at $2,360, XRP just under $1.50, Solana making a nice move up over 14% over the past week, currently trading at $96. We have Dogecoin, the largest meme coin of them all, still in the top 10, trading at around 11 cents, and Hyperliquid in the top 10, currently trading at $43.59. So when we look at the Bitcoin chart really quick, we can see that we're still up for the month of May so far, and we are up in the 80s. Now we still would need to see some movement way back up to these price levels, 90 something thousand, closer to 100,000, before we can really say that we are seeing a change in the direction of Bitcoin. But we are obviously going to continue to stay posted on what happens with the price movement. But we are nicely seeing a bump up over the last couple of months. So could this have been the bottom at $60,000? We obviously do not know, but time will tell. And there is a lot of excitement when it comes to the potential passing of the Clarity Act. So I think this is a lot of the reason why we're starting to see this continued upward movement in the month of May. One of the biggest news stories that came out of the cryptocurrency industry over the past week, Amazon has introduced payments for AI agents. As we know, blockchain technology as well as artificial intelligence are emerging markets, and we are seeing AI infrastructure continue to be built, and blockchain technology works seamlessly with AI, particularly with AI agents, in allowing them to make transactions on their own with blockchain technology, specifically with stable coins as well as Bitcoin. For example, in order to make payments to do particular tasks as AI agents. So through a partnership with Coinbase as well as Stripe, which is a payment processing company, you can see that AI agents are moving beyond assistants that wait for instructions. They call APIs, access MCP servers, coordinate with other agents, and complete complex multi-step tasks on behalf of users. As agents take on increasingly diverse tasks, the ecosystem around them is expanding just as fast to meet the demand. So looking further ahead, service tools and content must be designed for humans and agents. Agents will discover, evaluate, and pay for resources when they need, all within a single execution loop. And so this is what Amazon's Bedrock Agent Core payments. It's still in preview, which is a new set of features in the Amazon Bedrock Agent Core, enabling AI agents to instantly access and pay for what they use, such as web content, APIs, MCP servers, and other agents. We've built these capabilities in partnership with Coinbase and Stripe, who are providing the wallet infrastructure and payment rails that power the first set of capabilities. So you can see here, this is a flowchart of the Agent Core payments and the ecosystem, including Coinbase and Stripe, which are the wallet and payment providers. These are some of the payment protocols. And then you can see here, you can go to check out this article for yourself. It's at aws.amazon.com under their blog section. You can see the payment flow. So for example, if you have a query for an agent and you say, let's analyze Amazon stock, and the agent needs paid data, so they're trying to get information from paid resources, they would be able to use this Agent Core and pay through the blockchain technology, and Agent Core will handle the payment automatically, being able to provide the analysis without the need of the user coming in between to allow this analysis to occur. So you can see Stripe is building the economic infrastructure for AI, for agents to become meaningful economic actors. They need a way to hold and spend money. That's why we're excited to partner with AWS to make stablecoin wallets for agents readily available to Agent Core developers. And this is from Henry Stern, the CEO of Privy, which is a Stripe company. So we're really beginning to see the beginnings, because we're still definitely at the beginning stage of the AI revolution. It's still continuing to be built out. The AI infrastructure is being built out, and blockchain technology is still emerging. We're still starting to see some of the major institutions beginning to invest into the cryptocurrency ecosystem. We obviously are seeing regulations that are being drafted and considered. As I mentioned, the Clarity Act is something that's on Congress's table right now. So we are definitely still in the beginning stages, and that's why we look at AI as well as blockchain as emerging technologies, and we're trying to forecast what the potential could be in the future. And if we're able to forecast correctly, then if we invest in these type of technologies now, then we could potentially see greater returns in the future. So we'll definitely continue to keep you posted on the melding of AI as well as blockchain technology. But this is a huge story, a huge step in what's happening, particularly when it comes to agentic AI, meaning agents, AI being able to work on their own and do certain tasks autonomously. Morgan Stanley, which is one of those institutions I'm referring to, they're one of the largest wealth management firms in the world. They have about almost 10 trillion assets under management, and they are now offering, and it's in the pilot program currently, crypto trading for direct crypto trading, and they are actually starting out, because they own E-Trade, they are beginning to start out, at least right now, with transaction fees at 50 basis points, which is undercutting some of the larger crypto trading companies like Coinbase and even like Robinhood, for example. They're offering cheaper fees right now. Obviously, that's going to potentially help them get more customers coming to their side when it comes to crypto trading, particularly since they will be offering some of the more popular cryptos like Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Solana. So you can see here the launch follows Morgan Stanley's earlier plan to bring crypto trading to E-Trade. They also have had their most successful launch, and we've mentioned this before, MSBT, which is their own in-house Bitcoin ETF, and that was the best launch that they've had so far out of any ETF that they've put onto the market. So we're seeing that there still is a lot of interest coming into the cryptocurrency space, particularly into Bitcoin. And we are seeing these larger institutions and these larger wealth management companies and firms that are managing trillions and trillions of dollars around the world. We're starting to see that they're continuing to build the type of products that are exposing their clients to the crypto industry. Now, before we head out, we're going to get to the more macro, and we see, because that's also important in terms of what's happening in the economy, as that has an effect on the markets, including the cryptocurrency market. We can see that the U.S. national debt versus the GDP, we have now reached the debt ceiling of it being higher than the actual gross domestic product, which is basically a measure of the amount of money that the country is able to produce throughout the year. So we're seeing that, and these red and blue lines are basically just referencing the different administrations throughout the years. And we can see that particularly since the 1980s, we have seen a stark movement on up when it comes to the amount of debt that the U.S. has accrued. And we're seeing also that the GDP has also continued to rise pretty high over the last 50, 70 years or so, but we're seeing that now the debt has been growing faster than the growth of the U.S. economy. And if we take a look at what the U.S. economy is in reference to the entire world, you can see that the United States makes up over a quarter of global GDP being around $126 trillion. China in second at around 21 trillion. And then you see a lot of the other countries from the various regions around the world and what their GDP is for at least estimated for 2026. So it's definitely something that we need to keep an eye out for. It's not promising seeing this chart when we see that the debt continues to go higher and higher. We're inching closer and closer towards $40 trillion in debt. And so this could obviously present a problem for citizens, particularly when it comes to the price for different goods and services. We still have an issue with inflation. We know that we're going to get at least 3% or more every year, and we've seen numbers all the way upwards of 10 to 12% if you look at real inflation. So it just depends on the research that you do for yourself. But at the end of the day, we do know that inflation is a constant. And so we have to find ways to beat inflation and be able to savor and increase our purchasing power. So that's why you were so interested in something like Bitcoin, as well as investing in AI and other assets that can provide that type of value that we're looking for. So make sure to check us out on Instagram as well as on X. We post there nearly every day. And of course, we appreciate you checking us out here on YouTube. Take care, have a great week, and we'll be back soon. Bye-bye.